What's going on, everybody? This is Jack with the Trading Tribe again, and today we've got a pretty cool video kind of talking through some new content that we haven't really covered on the channel so far, and it's going to be how to swing trade futures. I know a lot of my videos have been tailored to day trading, but I also swing trade in the markets quite a bit, so I wanted to dedicate a video to just how I do that, how you can swing trade futures, and what some of those benefits would actually be by doing so. So if you find value in today's video, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. We've got a ton of content coming this year and a ton of content coming on day trading and swing trading just in general. So if you want to buff up your trading a little bit with some of this advice, then feel free to tune in just so you get notified of anything else that comes out throughout the year. And today we're going to really look at natural gas, which is my favorite future to trade. But swing trading, right, can be done in the stock market, it can be done in the futures market, and all swing trading is trading for longer than a day. So obviously if you're taking trades and getting out of the trade within one day, that's what we call a day trade. And it can be a little bit confusing out there because there's what they call scalping, which is like super fast trades where it's just a couple minutes. And then day trading's typically when it's like an hour long hold or longer. But at the end of the day, right, if you're selling out of that position within a day, that's what we like to call a day trade. And then a swing trade is really anything longer than that. So holding a trade for a couple days or a couple weeks or a couple months, those all kind of qualify as a swing trade. And then depending on your given market, right, that time frame of holding can depend, right? And it also depends on the time frame that you're trading. So we'll kind of talk through the implications here today as well. And whenever I swing trade, I like to stay on the hourly chart. So you guys all know I like to do that top-down analysis and look at all of the different time frames to get the best kind of idea of what the future is actually doing. But within the futures market, it moves really well typically on the hourly chart. So in Thinkorswim, kind of up here at the top right, if we do the little drop down on the time frames, we'll notice that I am in the 20-day 1 hour chart. So this is the last month essentially of trading for natural gas. And this has been a really nice chart to swing trade off of. If you haven't watched the videos in the past, we've kind of gone through the swing trades that have been kind of popping up on our radar as a group, and there's been multiple of them. So natural gas has been in a downtrend for the entire month, making these lower highs and lower lows. And so essentially the benefit of swing trading is you can actually take advantage of those massive moves. Obviously in the markets we're day trading quite a bit as well because you can make a lot of money during the day for some of the smaller moves as well. But swing trading is one of those things where when you add this to your trading kind of toolbox, if you will, you can really capitalize on these big moves, right? So if we short natural gas up here, and let's just say we nail the trade and get out here, per contract, right? This is a $3,500 trade, right? And this trade, for example, is kind of a tricky one because we didn't really have confirmation of the downtrend yet. But even if we took this second trade, right, there's $4,000 of potential here in just a couple days with only one contract. And then, this next trade was the best trade of the month so far, and it went down $9,000. So the profit potential trading these contracts on the swing trade kind of time frame is amazing, right? So that's one really cool thing about learning how to swing trade. There's typically a little bit more money on this side because you're holding a little longer, so the moves are actually a little bit bigger. One thing is you do have to risk more when you're swing trading. So if we take this downtrend trade right here, we are trading off of that 200-day moving average, and that's kind of served as the resistance this whole month. So that was actually my latest swing trade as well. I took this move down here, and we've called that out in a couple of our videos as well. But with any of these shorts, really, what we want to do is we want to short it into that resistance area right around that moving average. And then just like all of our other downtrends, right, when we do enter, we do want a stop loss above that prior high. Because if we think about it, right, if we enter here, we want it to make a lower low and a lower high. So it should not turn around and make a higher high. If it popped through this level here, it would have made a higher high, kind of signaling that the downtrend is either not intact or is kind of ending. And that's really where we'd want our risk. So in this case here, right, it made a $9,000 move down, and you'd have to risk, right, 1,500 in this example with one of these large contracts to actually have kind of a solid trade here. One thing that's really cool though about the futures market is we do have micro contracts. So I have a video on our channel kind of talking through the micro contracts, but really all it is there is a contract for natural gas that is essentially just smaller size. We'll notice it moves the exact same. So we had the same 4 trade ideas on the swing side, and we could have done the same exact trade here by getting in here. And then our stop loss, right, would have been in that same exact spot. And the one thing to notice here is the profit potential is 1/4 the size of that main contract. So instead of this move making you $9,000, right, it's not going to make that much per se. It's going to make you about 2,000, 2,500 potentially. And then on the risk side, there's a lot less risk here. Instead of risking $1,500, you're only risking 1/4 of that. So it's less than $500. And pretty quickly, right, you can see that the risk to reward is still amazing, right? You're getting like a 4-to-1, 5-to-1. So the trade's, especially worth taking. And then you'll also notice that with these swing trades, right, they're working almost immediately. So in my latest short, right, it was only a 2-day hold, right? I shorted into the pop and then I sold into the wash. If I show my trades here, we can kind of look at the entry and exit. So I liked a lot of things about this trade, but essentially it was kind of the same idea we're talking through right here, right? Every time natural gas pops up to this moving average, it fails and makes a lower low. Every time it pops up to the moving average, fails and makes a lower low. And then it does it again. And so essentially I was just waiting for that pullback up to the moving average, which we were able to achieve. And right when it did that, I entered with that short position, and then I sold into this flush kind of back to that lower level. So you can keep your swing trades pretty simple, right? You're essentially just waiting for that trend to continue. And that's at least how I will take these swing trades. But we'll notice, right, this is a pretty nice range. And we have a really clear area to risk off of, right? That prior high, for example. And all we're essentially doing is betting on the downtrend to continue. And it's still dropping today. So, I covered a little bit too early, but hopefully this helps a lot with just the thought process with swing trading. One thing to just keep in mind is you're obviously holding a little bit longer. So if you're not a patient trader or you're still working on that, maybe there are a couple things to work on before you actually introduce swing trading into your toolbox. But this is something that I definitely recommend you looking into, because a lot of the markets out there offer a lot of profit potential on the day trading side and the swing trading side. So in my career, right, when I was able to add kind of both into the mix, the profit potential kind of doubles, right? Because you're essentially taking advantage of both types of moves here. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Hopefully this gives you kind of that 101 on swing trading in the futures market specifically, and feel free to comment down below if there's any questions.